You're listening to Today on BBC Radio 4 with Justin Webb and James Knock. It's 8 o'clock on Tuesday the 8th of May. Intelligence officers in Washington say terrorists were planning to blow up an aircraft flying to the United States last week. The chief executive of the insurer Aviva has resigned just days after shareholders voted against increases in senior pay packages. David Cameron and Nick Clegg are to reaffirm their commitment to the coalition's deficit reduction plan. And Prince Harry has been honoured for his work with injured service personnel. The BBC News comes from Susan Ray.
Officials in the United States say intelligence agencies have disrupted a plot to bomb an airliner heading for America. It's understood the attack was designed to mark last week's anniversary of the killing of Osama bin Laden and involved an upgraded version of the so-called underpants bomb that was used in a failed attack in 2009. The US Defense Secretary, Leon Panetta, suggested al-Qaeda or its allies were behind the plot. From Washington, here's our North America editor, Mark Mardell.
The device that was seized abroad and is now being studied by the FBI is similar to a bomb sewn into the underpants of a Nigerian man who tried and failed to set it off over Detroit on Christmas Day 2009. It seems this bomb was probably designed by the same man who made the Detroit device, and that it's an improved model with a more effective detonation system. It has no metal parts and probably wouldn't have been detected by most airport security. It's not even clear if it would have been found by the body scanners that have been installed in some American airports after that attempted attack 3 years ago. While security doesn't appear to have been stepped up, the US Defense Secretary, Leon Panetta, says America has to be alert.
What this incident makes clear is that this country has to continue to remain vigilant against those that would seek to attack this country. And we will do everything necessary to keep America safe.
The plot was thwarted before a target had been selected or any tickets had been bought. US officials are insistent there was never any risk to the public. It's not clear what has happened to the would-be bomber.
The insurance company Aviva says its chief executive has stepped down with immediate effect. Last week, a majority of the company's shareholders voted against a proposal to increase the pay of Andrew Moss and his fellow executives. Here's our business correspondent, Simon Jack.
It's rare for a majority of company shareholders to vote against approving the pay package of company bosses, and when they do, it is seen as a vote of no confidence in the man at the top. Andrew Moss saw his pay rejected by over half of the company's shareholders, who blamed him for several years of underperformance and were unhappy with him being offered a pay rise of over 5%. Even though shareholder votes are not binding on the company, he offered to waive his increase, but many felt that gesture was too little too late, and he stepped down this morning with immediate effect. His resignation follows a wave of rebellions over top pay at other companies, including AstraZeneca here in the UK and Citigroup in the US. The trend some have dubbed the shareholder spring has claimed its highest profile victim.
David Cameron and Nick Clegg will today launch a joint fight back after their parties suffered big losses in last week's local elections. The Conservative Prime Minister and his Liberal Democrat deputy will say they're determined to work together to do whatever needs doing to succeed. They'll stress their continuing commitment to the coalition and to the programme they agreed 2 years ago. From Westminster, here's Carol Walker.
The mood and the backdrop will be very different from that joking joint news conference in the number 10 Rose Garden 2 years ago. But David Cameron and Nick Clegg will again stand together to stress their commitment to the coalition government and the overriding priority of rebuilding the economy. The Prime Minister will say that with the Eurozone in extreme trouble, it's more important than ever for Britain to stick to the plan to tackle the deficit. His Lib Dem deputy will agree, saying that ducking the tough choices would only prolong the pain. But there is renewed tension between the coalition partners over tomorrow's Queen's speech, with Tory MPs demanding more purely Conservative policies. They want changes to the House of Lords to be shelved, while Nick Clegg says it's time to get on with it. I understand the issue will be included, but the commitment will be to legislate once Parliament has reached a consensus, something that has proved elusive so many times before.